Hey everyone, it's Miss K, founder and owner of K's Little Einstein Academy. So it is Summer Literacy Live, and of course, I promised two authors today, and we have Miss Dr. Dawn Minage and we have Virtuous Cornwall. So I'm going to pass it over to Miss Cornwall first, and then Miss Minage will go on afterwards. So the normal procedure is that she introduces herself, her book, read her story, and then I ask the four magical questions, and then we'll go on to our lovely host, Miss Dr. Minage, afterwards. So go on, Miss Precious.
Fantastic. So, good evening to everyone. My name is Virtuous Cornwall. I am the author of the Animals View series. If you look right behind me there, you will see my books on my shelf. My first book was Animals Will Finding Little Duggins, and the second one, Animals Will Virusbusters. I love to write books. Why? Because it's so much fun. It's so much fun to come up with the ideas and put the books together. I became a self-publisher because traditional publishing company rejected me, and I did not take no for an answer. So make sure you don't take no for an answer. So I researched and I did my homework, and Animalsville's stories were born. And so today I am going to share with you Animalsville's Virusbusters, and this is one of my recent books that I published this year. So I know you are going to enjoy it. Here we go. So Animalsville's Virusbusters. And this book was published, obviously it was published by me. The illustration, meaning the pictures that you see here, was illustrated by Pardeem Meher, and they live in India. So cool, right? Let's begin. It was a pleasant day in Animalsville. The sun was shining bright and beautiful. The school bus and garbage trucks and recycling trucks drove through the town, serving the community. Some children rode to school, while others walked with your grown-up. When you go to school, how do you go? Do you get a ride or do you walk? Either way, I'm sure it's fun, right? Adventurous. In Animalsville, Miss Flamingo's class, everyone was getting ready for story time. And suddenly, guess what happened, guys? Little Alfin coughed and sneezed. Achoo, achoo. But he did not cover his mouth or nose. And guess what happened? He sneezed all over little Duggins. So little Duggins says, yuck. So he cried to the bathroom. And Miss Flamingo, an amazing teacher, followed him and helped him get all cleaned up. Today, boys and girls, declared Miss Flamingo Zip, we are going to have story time, and the title of our book is Germs, Virus, and Us. Everyone was eager to learn, especially little Duggins, of course, because he was all sneezed upon. Miss Flamingo Zip opened the book, and everyone leaned forward as she read the story. The children listened very closely, and all of them learned so much about germs and virus. So with his hands raised, little Alfin uttered, I have a question, Miss Flamingo Zip. Go right ahead, she said. Little Alfin asked, well, if a person gets sick, what should they do? And the teacher responded, they will need to see a doctor who can help them get all better. Now, boys and girls, there are so many things you can do to stay strong and healthy, Miss Flamingo Zip says. Eating our fruits and vegetables will give us good nutrition, making us healthy in the inside. Also exercising and drinking lots and lots of water. And when it comes to germs and virus, we can take extra care by washing our hands and covering our nose and our mouth when we sneeze or cough. And whenever you get sick, it's always good to stay inside and make sure you feel better. And that is called self-quarantine. So story time ended. But all the children still have many questions. You see, they're raising their hand like, we're right here. I have a question. Little Alfin, little Duggins, and little Elephanta wanted to learn more about germs and virus. And what better place you go to than the library? So they went with your grown-ups right after school. Inside the library, the three curious minds searched through so many books to learn about germs and virus. And so, little Alphin book said, a virus can travel from person to person and cause a cold, the flu, and many other disease. Little Alphin shouted, I get it! That's why it's important to wash your hands. And the librarian, Miss Lambskin, said, shh, you're not supposed to be shouting in the library. And she said, always cover your nose and mouth when sneezing or coughing. Little Elephanta whispered, guys, listen to what my book says. If a person is sick, they should practice social distancing by staying away 6 feet or more from others. And washing your hands is so important. If there is not soap and water, we use a hand sanitizer. Wow! Exclaimed little Elephanta. This book has so much information. It would be awesome for us to share all that we have learned today with all of our families in Animalsville. Now think about it. If you want to share news, how do you do it? Let's find out what they did. I have an idea, little Duggins exclaimed. We can make posters that show how to keep virus away. Brilliant idea, little Elephanta responded. But there are so many people in Animalsville. This will be very, very hard to do. Little Alphin started thinking, I know a grown-up who can help us. My dad. As the mayor, he can email all the residents and help us give out the posters. We can make copies, put them inside everyone's mailbox and on the bulletin boards in town. That's a brilliant idea. So the three little ones agreed, and so the adventures of the Virusbusters began. Together, they took turns using the computer and tablet to create beautiful posters. Can you imagine what their posters look like? Let's find out. Oh, look at this. When they were all finished, little Duggins looked and said, wow, these look amazing. Look what they did, guys. Together, they made posters and flyers that tells you exactly what to do when you have a cold. So here on this flyer, it says to cover your mouth, and you got a check mark. And here, he did not cover, so he doesn't get a check mark, right? So many awesome ways to tell your story. The next day, the three classmates went to school and told their teacher about their plans. Miss Flamingos was so proud that she offered to help them. And so everyone also wanted to help. Little Alphin came up with a cheer, and Miss Flamingos would help him teach it to the class. So are you ready? We're going to learn it together. Here we go. It says, are you ready, Virusbusters? And then everyone would say, yes, we are. How do you stop a virus from spreading? Wash your hands, wash your hands. Cover your nose when sneezing. Cover your mouth when coughing. Wash your hands, wash your hands. I'm going to say it one more time. So if you're listening, make sure you say it with me, okay? How do you stop a virus from spreading? Wash your hands, wash your hands. Cover your nose when sneezing. Cover your mouth when coughing. Wash your hands, wash your hands. If you did it, awesome. If you didn't do it, that's still okay. On that Friday, everyone gathered out of school and picked up their posters and went door to door spreading the news about virus. And all their parents were so proud, they offered to help. Thanks to the Virusbusters and their helpers, Animalsville was never the same again. So boys and girls, in Animalsville Virusbusters, we learned that it's important to cover your nose and mouth when sneezing or coughing, and that when you want to tell someone something or you want to tell so many people things, make posters, right? Or you can send them emails with the help of a grown-up. There's so many ways you can do it. And to keep our bodies healthy, make sure you drink lots of water, do a lot of exercises, and eat your fruits and vegetables. So this is Animalsville's Virusbusters, and I'm done for now. Yay!
That was amazing. Of course. If anybody has been following me for a while, Miss Riches has been on here before. So this is the second book she's read. I'm so excited about it.
Thank you.
So I'm going to be asking her 4 magical questions.
Okay, here we go.
All right. So what inspired you to write the book?
Well, it's Virusbusters. So when the pandemic hit, I had this idea. And I said, I have to go with it. How can I bring the story to life and have kids not be afraid, but excited to learn about germs and virus? And what better way to put it in a book? I love books, and I know children do too. So
Mhm.
that's how it started with the pandemic. And I wrote it really quick. Of course, I did a lot of editing, but it came out beautiful.
All right. And what the next question is, what story, what message would you like to leave the kids with?
Awesome. Just breathe. I know that everything is going to be all right. I know so much
Mhm.
has happened in this past year, so much. And some
Mhm.
have caused us to quench, some has caused us to cry. And I
Yes.
know like, oh, when is this going to be over? When am I going to see my friends again? Know
Mhm.
that nothing lasts forever and everything will be all right someday. But in the meantime, make sure you are taking the right steps and staying healthy.
Yes, yes. So I hope you guys are listening, kids. All right. The next question is, what are your social media handles?
Oh my gosh, I'm almost like everywhere. If you Google Virtuous Cornwall, you will see me everywhere. But I am more active on Facebook and Instagram. That's where I share my content. That's where I share stories about me, what I'm doing. Facebook is where I do my story time, and that's my son coming through. This is like Papa. So I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, basically everywhere. Just Google Virtuous Cornwall and you will see me. And if you want to subscribe, you go to vncbooks.com and I will definitely send you a present.
Oh, great. And the last question for you until we go on to Ms. Minute is, where can we purchase your books?
It's definitely on Amazon, but I also have my own bookstore online. So
Mhm.
if you go to vncbooks.com, it will take you there. Or if you Google Virtuous Cornwall, you will definitely find it. And I'm also on Amazon. And I live in New Jersey, so I'm in the local libraries as well.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure to have you on. We are going to be going on to our second author. I'm quite excited. This is her first time.
Oh, yeah, you're going to do awesome.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you. Thank
Yes.
you for having me.
Of
Lovely
course.
story. I really enjoyed it.
Thank
And yes,
you.
I'm a
Thank you so
teacher.
much.
So yeah, this is the impact of this has been tremendous on our children. And we're
Absolutely.
just now getting back into the classroom. So there is a lot of fear and uncertainty, you
Yeah,
know, to see how we're doing. We started summer school and our parents had the choice of in class or still Zooming. And a lot started with the Zooming still, and then after a week or so, they're like, "I want my child back in class." So,
wow, yeah.
by the time we were done, I ended up with almost all the children back in class. So hopefully, when we start in the fall, we'll just go right back to what we were doing, and we will just kind of forget about this.
Absolutely.
All
That's
right.
the,
So I will be turning it over to Miss Minute. She's going to introduce herself and her book and read her book live. So we're going to be going off the screen, guys. Get excited.
Woo-hoo!
My name is Dr. Dawn Ment, and I have a PhD in curriculum instruction. I'm a teacher, and I actually have an educational series. It's called Queen Vernita's Visitors, and there's 13 books in the series, pre-K to sixth grade. They're all based on our real life adventures. Each book is a different area within the Queen's Kingdom. I have astronomy in Alaska and Baja, Mexico, New Orleans, 2 on Hawaii, 1 on a paddle boat, one on a train ride that we took from Williams, Arizona to Grand Canyon. And it has Santa Claus in it. So it's a great story to read for Christmas in July or in December. But today I am going to read to you Dragon's Breath. All right. Once upon a time, King Teddy and Queen Giggle shared a magical life together, filled with love and adventure. They traveled far and wide within their kingdom, sharing this magical life and writing down their tales to share with the school children of their kingdom. But sadly, it wasn't always so for them. For many years, they lived separately in different worlds. There was an evilness that surrounded their kingdom that kept them apart, and it filled their hearts with sadness. They both dreamed of one day being together and gaining their power back from the darkness that had entered their lives and kept them apart. See the queen? See, she's so sad. And the king is leaving because they can't figure out what is going on. Many years before, King Teddy had befriended an aging dragon. This dragon pretended to be good and caring, and she went around the kingdom of quails telling stories to the villagers, convincing them to follow her. She told them she had magical powers and would help them grow bigger and better crops. The villagers were filled with hope from the dragon's promises, and they all did what she did. And they all did what she said. King Teddy gave the dragon food and a nice cave to live in for all her help with his villagers. He wanted his people to be successful and to thrive. So they were all listening to the dragon and her tales. One day, King Teddy introduced the dragon to Queen Giggles. The king wanted the queen and the dragon to be friends as they were both trying to help the villagers. Queen Giggles tried to be friends with the dragon, but the dragon was very mean and said, "I will never let the king know happiness unless he is with me." So the dragon was not very nice. The dragon became angrier and angrier as she realized how much the king loved his queen. He was devoted to her, and this made the dragon feel left out, and she was afraid he would stop making her so important in the kingdom of quails. The dragon was not powerful enough to blow fire in her anger, but she huffed and she puffed. Big bellows of black smoke came out of her nostrils. Late at night, the dragon would huff and puff and blow smoke all over the kingdom of quails. In the daytime, the dragon would continue to tell her story of hope and convince the villagers that she was there to help them through the smoke. The black smoke soon covered all the crops and flowers and cast a darkness around the kingdom that made the king, the queen, and villagers very sad and hopeless. The flowers stopped blooming, and the birds could not sing through the deep, dark smoke. Look how sad everybody is. The kingdom is not thriving anymore. King Teddy and Queen Giggles became so sad and hopeless that they lived in different parts of the kingdom of quail. They did not know what to do to make everything better. They did not know how to solve the mystery of the deep darkness that the smoke brought to the kingdom. So they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to solve their problem. One dark and sad night, the king was wandering around the kingdom, sick with worry for his once beautiful kingdom, and he missed his queen. He suddenly heard very strange noises coming from the field of crops. It was some sort of breathing, a strangled huffing and puffing. Uh-oh. Who is he seeing? The dragon. The king slowly and carefully followed the sound. He came upon the dragon blowing her deep, dark smoke on the crops of the food that the villagers were trying to grow. Uh-oh. It's you, dragon. You are the creature that is spreading darkness on my once beautiful kingdom and preventing my villages from thriving. How could you do this? I believed in you, and I thought you were here to help my villagers, not hurt them. It makes me very angry that you and the Queen Giggles are happy together. I'm never going to let that happen. I do not want you to be happy without me, the dragon said through the dark smoke. It is not okay for you to hurt other people because you are angry. That is not how we treat each other in the kingdom of quails. You need to leave and never, never come back. You are vanquished from my kingdom forever, King Teddy demanded as he pointed for the dragon to leave. The dragon put her head down and her tail between her legs and plodded away from the kingdom. She was never heard from again. The kingdom of quails soon returned to its beautiful self. Flowers bloomed, the birds sang their melodies, crops grew and flourished, and the stars sparkled brightly each night. Queen Giggles and King Teddy Bear could be seen walking hand in hand along the orange sand beach. At night, after spending their days ruling their lands and living in their castles, all covered in red roses. And that is the story of King Teddy and Queen Giggles.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
A little bit. So, of course, I have my 4 magical questions. And the first one is, what inspired you to write the book?
This book was written based on an actual experience I had, and it's to help teach other people not to hurt people if they're angry or they're jealous. You know, it's not okay. You have to deal with your own emotions and not hurt people or lie.
That is very important. This is good lessons for you kids to listen to. The next question is, what lesson would you like to leave the kids in general?
Well, not to hurt people when you're angry or jealous, to learn to deal with your own emotions. If you're reading any of my Queen Vernita books, it's based on friendships and families and adventure and exploring, and and it's basic calendar skills too. The very first one, it's pre-K to first grade, and it teaches days of the week, months of the years, and the seasons. So there's lots of educational value in all of my books.
Yes, I agree. I think it's very important especially for pre-K to kindergarten, for them to learn the basic skills. And so, guys, you better check this out because she has a lot of educational value in her books.
Yeah.
The next question is, what are your social media handles?
I have a website, Dr. Dawn Menge. I have a Facebook, Dawn Menge 1. And if you go into my Facebook, there's albums for each of the books. And you can see our real life adventures in the pictures because the illustrations come from the actual pictures. So you can see where they came from and what we were doing. And I have an Instagram, Dawn Menge, and a Twitter, Queen Vernita, and my publisher is Rushmore Press.
Great. And last but not least, where can we purchase the book?
They're on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Target. There's a link on my website, and they're in the Rushmore Press. Right. Or you can contact me if you'd like an author signed copy.
Oh, so if you want a special copy signed hot off the press, you know where to reach her. So it wraps up Summer Literacy Live for July 2nd. You guys stay tuned for next week. We will be doing our next 2 authors. And so I just want to say happy 4th of July.
Have a good weekend and stay safe.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.